Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be my Pan That Palette update for March 1st of 2023. I am doing a baby Pan That palette and a Pan That palette for this year. The baby Pan That palette is a little side project where I work on a palette that has 5 pans or less, and my goal is to use it until it is gone. It's a long-term mission. And once it is finally gone, I will immediately roll in, well, almost immediately. Within a month, I will roll in another palette of 5 pans or less to replace it. The goal is to get those numbers down because I have way too many itty bitty palettes in my collection. And prior to starting Baby Pan That palette, they just never made their way into a project. I never really worked on them. So this Baby Pan That palette has really helped me out quite a bit. At this point in time, I am working on a little duo from Smashbox. It is a sample of the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. This is a product I had received in an Ipsy bag many years ago. I still get questions about this all the time. Every single time I post this palette on Instagram, people are asking me what palette it is, where I got it from, where they can get it. And unfortunately, I don't think this is available anymore, but it is a wonderful little duo. I have been working on it for a very long time though, and I'm ready to get it moving. So let me show you a picture of what this little guy looked like last month. And this is what it looks like this month. I still have some crumbly bits in there at the bottom on the matte side. Again. And I don't know if you can see it, but there is pan on the shimmery top shade, finally, as of today. I hit pan on that top shimmery shade. If the camera is not picking up on that pan right now, I will insert a picture. Even the picture, it's hard to pick up on it. The pan blends in very nicely with the shadow inside, but I did hit pan on this top shimmery shade today, finally. There was no way this video was going to go up until I had pan, so thank goodness it happened. Today is actually March 1st. This video is probably not going to go up for a day or two, but I was determined to hit pan on that shade before I posted another update. And I was getting very nervous this morning as I was doing my makeup. Like, if there isn't pan, I'm going to be so mad. I've been using this entire quad a lot over the past month. I wanted to keep working on this matte shade and kind of use up these crumbly bits that have fallen. And I wanted to hit pan on the gold shade. That was definitely a goal that I had set at last month's update. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really, really good about where I'm at with this palette right now. I still have a very long way to go, but hitting pan is definitely a step in the right direction. And yeah, finally. Okay, let's move on to my Pan That palette. I am doing 2 themes for this year for Pan That palette. First of all, I am doing the Pantastic Ladies theme of Kicking It Old School, which is working on the oldest palette you have. I don't know what my oldest palette is at this point. It's been a long time, but I picked an old palette. And I'm also doing the Better Together Pan That palette theme, which was created by me with the goal of finding a second palette that complements your Pan That palette or another palette very well. And as a result, the 2 palettes are better together than apart. Thank you all so much for joining in on this project with me. It's been unbelievably exciting to see how many people have joined in. I know I said that at last month's update too, but I'm honestly just so shocked and honored that so many of you enjoyed this project idea as well. And I just wanted to thank you all once again for joining me for this project. It's made it so much more fun to have you along with me for the ride. But the palettes that I chose for my Better Together Pan That palette theme, as well as my Kicking It Old School theme. By the way, Kicking It Old School was co-created by Jessica Lee and Dana. So the 2 of them created the Kicking It Old School Pan That Palette theme. I will have their channels or their Instagram accounts linked down below. But for my Pan That Palette this year, I chose a Clinique quad and a Maybelline quad. So 2 quads. I'm only working on 8 shadows for my Pan That Palette for this year. So let me show you a picture of what these guys looked like last month. Okay, let's start with my little Clinique quad. This is the Teddy Bear quad. This was by far the least used of all the eyeshadows over the past month, and I think it shows. That's where I'm at now. I used all of these shades a time or two, but not much. Not much. The shadow that I would probably be using the most is one of these middle 2 shades, but because I've been focusing on the matte shade in my Smashbox Full Exposure so much, I haven't needed to reach for this really at all. It's kind of ironic because when I put the 2 quads together for Better Together, I thought I'd be working on them together, but instead I'm working on the Maybelline quad and the Smashbox Duo instead of this quad with the Maybelline quad. So go figure. I do think I will get to this eventually, probably once the Smashbox Duo is gone, but the Smashbox Duo has definitely distracted me big time from this quad so far since the project started. And let's move on to my Maybelline quad. I am working on a palette called Natural Shock, and this is what it looks like today. So I hit my goal. I hit pan on this first shimmery shade right here. It's not the biggest pan, but it's definitely pan. I mentioned at last month's update that once I hit pan on this, I would put it aside and start working on a similar shade that's in my e.l.f. 100 pan palette, which I now have in my Beauty A to Z project. And that's what I did. I've been working on that shade in my e.l.f. 100 pan palette ever since. I do plan to get back to this as soon as that shadow is gone, but it's not gone yet. The only other shade from this quad that I've been working on is this 3rd shade right here. And that's the shade I use every day that I wear my eye look, my gold eye look with the Smashbox Duo. By the way, I filmed a Get Ready With Me using these shadows to create this eye look. And so if you missed that, you can go check that out. That was my February Get Ready With Me, the one with the bad nose contour. I tried nose contouring, and in real life, I didn't think it was that bad, but on camera, it looked like I was a little girl playing with her mother's bronzer. It was not a good look, but I thought it was better in real life. I could be fooling myself. Either way, if you want to see the Get Ready With Me where I do a bronzy neutral eye look, it's the February Get Ready With Me. But I have been using this 3rd shade every time I do the bronzy look to kind of darken up the outer half or the outer 1/3 of my eyelid and my lower lash line. So despite the fact that I've used this 3rd shade quite a bit, I don't feel like you can really tell that I've used it quite a bit. It looks the same as it did a month ago. I really haven't used this 2nd or 4th shade at all over the past month. But the more I think about this quad, the more I think the way I will be getting the most use out of these shades is by layering. I think I'm going to layer one of these 2 lighter shades over one of these 2 darker shades because the darker shades are really dark. So I'm going to start playing around with layering. That's going to be one of my goals for the next month, is to play around with the layering and see if I can come up with an everyday look that I feel beautiful and comfortable wearing, because I really do feel like these 2 dark shades are a little bit too dark for everyday wear. Although I do feel like there's a time and a place for a chocolatey smoky eye, I don't always want to wear one. And I want to play around with the layering with this. I also want to start getting back to using this. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I just feel like I haven't used it nearly enough. And as far as this guy, I don't plan to use this a whole lot over the next month. I've been working so hard to hit pan on that gold shade that I would like to spend the next month focusing on some other shadows besides these two. Not that I won't, you know, I'll still get right back to it after this month is over, but I think for the month of March, I'm not going to make any goals for this palette. If I expand the pan, that's great. If I can use up some of those crumbles on the matte side, that would be great. But I'm not going to put any pressure to do anything with this quad because for the love of everything holy, I've been using this, what feels like nonstop, for the last several months, and I'm ready for a break. But I do hope to get plenty of use out of these two. I don't know if there's any pans I could realistically hit over the next month. I don't know. I think it might be a while before I hit any new pans. That's a tough one. I don't feel like I'm close to hitting any new pans, unfortunately. But hopefully I can get back to the shimmery shade in this quad soon and start expanding the pan on that one a bit. So that is it for this update, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.